Greetings, my most excellent friends and fiends. And before we go any further, happy Pride. Woo! So, hope everybody is going to have a wonderful month, because if there's one thing that, we certainly have had at Surprise Party, is a healthy representation of the LGBTQA plus community, and just as Chaotic Tiefling does. So wanted to say that right off the bat. So once more, happy Pride, everybody, and welcome to the fourth episode of season 2 of D&D Surprise Party, where a bunch of us pandemically displaced nerds get together virtually around a table to play Dungeons and Dragons. Hey, I got to do a little bit of a tribute spiel. I mean, I got the vest and everything tonight. So, and salute to the folks over there at CR. And
we play Dungeons and Dragons.
They play Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, great. Here comes another lawsuit now.
Don't worry. I got you.
I know. All right. Well, let's get right into business, and then we'll get into the action. And believe me, there's going to be some action, folks. So, first up, of course, is D&D Beyond. Now, do you crave power? Do you crave the power over life and death itself? Maybe you have an undying thirst for knowledge, or something more sanguinary, shall we say? Maybe you seek immortality, no matter the cost. Any of those cravings can have the most dire of outcomes. But what does that matter if it makes you a dark lord of your own dark domain? But be warned, this prize is a double-edged sword. Your domain is just as much your prison as it is your kingdom. And you can create your very own dark domains and become a dark lord with Ravenloft book from D&D Beyond. That would be Van Richten's Guide to Ravenloft. And you can create your own Ravenloft adventures. You can use new subclasses, such as the College of Spirits Bard and the Undead Warlock. There are new lineages like the Returned, the Dampier, and I've lost my place, and the Hexblood. Those wonderful, interesting creations that have run afoul, either accidentally or on purpose, of hags. So, of course, D&D Beyond is your official go-to toolbox for Dungeons and Dragons. And you can use all sorts of wonderful tools, including right now, they are still in beta testing of the combat tracking system. They have so many different digital dice that are available. And today's big addition is that you can now target your game log dice rolls. You can have them seen by everyone, or just the DM, or yourself. And this can be kind of handy for DMs. Now, you just have to right-click a rollable box on your character sheet, say if you're making an attack, and then you can check off who sees it, and if you roll with advantage or disadvantage. You can also choose options, who can see the roll, when you use the dice toolbar at the base of the page. Now, in any of these menus, choosing everyone will send the rolls to everyone in the campaign so they can all see the result and share in your epic success or dismal failure. If you check it to yourself, well, that'll keep your rolls private, so you can test roll that D100 to pick the perfect dice set. Or you can check off Dungeon Master to allow your DM to see the roll so you can pick your friends' pockets without them noticing. Maybe. So once again, thank you very much to D&D Beyond for sponsoring D&D Surprise Party. And I believe, Trav, you have some interesting information for us, don't you?
Got a little useful information for people who need character art, especially if you can't make it yourself or you can't afford to commission it from your local friendly artist or an online friendly artist. If you need that, have we got the place for you? The team at Never Ending have built a 2D character art builder where you can choose from tons of assets to build your player characters as well as your NPCs, DMs. For a limited time, it's more affordable than ever. You can get 18 months of access to the premium content and tools, of course, for the very, very low price of $9. $9. Normally $60, currently $9. You want to get into that? Go visit them at beneverending.com. Follow them on Twitter at beneverending. Find out how you can get in on this. It's actually very easy. It's just called subscribe. But it's going to be very easy for you. It will make your life so much easier. Back to you, Dragon.
Thank you, Trav. All right. And thank you, Never Ending, for sponsoring D&D Surprise Party once more. Well, as everybody knows, Chaotic Tiefling ATL is the brainchild of our dear offstage oracle and our chaos coordinator, Babs the Bat. And it's an amazing community that has been lovingly cultivated and curated to create a truly safe space for creatives to come and be themselves. Now, I've said numerous times that I couldn't have even attempted to do Surprise Party anyplace else because there's simply no place else like Chaotic Tiefling. But there's a lot more to the chaos than our fun on Wednesday nights. Lydia and Celine, why don't you tell us about next weekend?
Of course. Next Saturday night, June the 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time is What Streams May Come. It's the monthly Shakespearean live reading streamed performance that returns, that brings you Shakespeare's Henry V next weekend. Join our hosts, the dynamic duo of Our Lady of Shadows, Jessica Skellington, and the Bloodhaven Bard himself, Finnegan Archer, and a cast of randomly selected actors who in turn will play randomly selected parts, much to the amusement of all. That's what's happening on Saturday night, but Celine, I hear there's something happening on Sunday morning?
Oh yeah, so right after we come off the excitement of Shakespeare and all the body life, we have Utharian Legends Brunch D&D, DM'd by Strike Red Kite, our moderator Supreme. It features several familiar faces, including our very own Big B, the aforementioned Finn and Jess, not to mention other surprise chaoslings who might pop in from time to time as either NPCs or guest PCs. In fact, the 13th is going to be a really cool day because one of D4's Dungeon Masters, Dustin, will be guest starring as a stowaway on the ship. So get your brunch food, your mimosas ready, and get ready for some ocean shenanigans on Utharian Legends.
All right. Thank you. And as always, you can find all of our previous episodes for all of our shows on the Chaotic Tiefling YouTube channel, the link of which is no doubt in the chat as we speak. And finally, before I can say, hit exclamation point for Sooth in the chat, I have been advised that my legal counsel has a brief statement.
Yes, it came to my knowledge that last week, apparently, Chaotic Tiefling's very own Finn, also known as the Bloodhaven Bard, I believe, has sent a cease and desist to my client about his ads for his very hardworking and very hard-earned t-shirt shop that he has online that you can find via exclamation mark Forsooth. apparently, since Mr. Bloodhaven Bard does not get to do the advertisements anymore, no one should do it. And to that, we say objection. We have a fully fledged statement coming next week that will call out the Bloodhaven Bard, but also more in general. Explain to all of you why you should definitely not stop posting !forsooth in the chat, especially in such a state of pride as we currently reside, and especially when there's especially made pride design t-shirts currently on in the store that you should definitely check out, with several designs including Shakespearean ones and D&D ones. So I think that we should all give Mr. Dragon one closing statement before you can all happily await our opening ones next week. It's on, Finn. You don't even know how on it is.
I thank you. So, as my counsel said, make sure that you go to my TeePublic shop. You can get the link by hitting the ! !forsooth. And because it is Pride Month, I am so happy to announce that several new Pride designs have been added. And for the next 2 days or so, they should still be available at a discounted rate, because when everything new comes out at TeePublic, it's on sale for at least the next 3 days. So they just went on sale yesterday, so you should be able to. There is a Shakespeare Pride as well as D&D Surprise Party logo Pride shirts as well. We have there are 5 designs up so far, and more are coming, because there's only so many hours in the day that a dragon can design. So, but anyway, that's all that there is for now, because that's all I'm legally allowed to say, other than you can get hoodies, shirts, mugs, travel mugs, notebooks, phone covers. Okay, I'll stop.
Masks, hoodies, everything.
All right. Thank you very much, Laura. And Finn, just you wait.
Does Finn even know this is going on?
If he didn't, he does now.
Oh, wait,
Anyways.
Watching you, Finn.
We'll send
Watching
him a notice.
All righty. So now that that's over with, it is time to get down to some business. And the business now is seeing what is going to happen to our Delvers, because last week they faced down the Sword Wraith and the skeletons very handily, with quite a bit of some radiant damage being dealt by our Leonin Paladin, chopping that Sword Wraith down to size in the nick of time, too, because otherwise he was getting ready to ship in a whole bunch more skeletons at you. But he was dispatched with all haste, and our friends felt another rumbling in the dungeon, which made them want to exit even faster. And they went faster. They found their way outside, only they found that they were not where they were expecting to be. And after a bit of inspection and a bit of chronal magic being worked and a bit of garbled messaging and sending, it turned out that they had been displaced into the Wrathlands when the dungeon shifted from Firth. And after some interesting interaction with his trickster god of debauchery, Danos was able to ascertain that their planned destination was the right one to take. Armed with this via a commune spell delivered through time somehow by Resnarv, who is, of course, Sulfus's taskmaster and a chronomancer, they were able to get he was able to get some messages to you that through Agamemnon, as well as the scroll, and you were able to put your plan into motion to get to the Ravensfjord Dungeon, or where you believe the Ravensfjord Dungeon might be in correlation to its location from the desert dungeon that you had been in when it was on Firth. I know all this extra dimensional stuff gets a little bit wibbly wobbly, if not timey-wimey. And I do want to clarify one or two quick things. This is entirely on me, and I do apologize to the audience and to the players about the distortion fields that are around the dungeons. Yes, this particular one had a larger disruption around it. It was not necessarily because it did not go to where it was supposed to, but just the fact that it was displaced. For some unknown reason, it had a more powerful field in Firth. But then once you were in the Wrathlands, that distortion seemed to fade down to like the normal 5-mile level. What the distortion field will be for the other dungeons, if they are here, as you have surmised, well, they are, because, Min told you. You'll have to discover that for yourself, though. But I did want to clear that up. So just the fact that it was a new dungeon that nobody had ever explored before, or heard of before. So that is why there might have been that little bit of confusion, and I do apologize for that. In any event, they left the confines of the dungeon and they started making their way through the Wrathlands, which is a very inhospitable place from all accounts. And as they were going along, they were interrupted in their walk by rumblings and dirt and debris flying up from the ground to reveal a rather large, although fortunately nowhere near as large as the previous one they had seen, a Skullvyrm. And that is where we left off. Now, before we pick up with initiative, last week's chosen was Strix. So Lori has immunity this week. So, as a matter of fact, though, I do need you, Lori, to roll a d6, please.
Okay.
2.
All righty.
That's it, just already? Alrighty then.
Oh, that's interesting.
Ooh.
Okay, now that's scary.
All right.
You say scary, I say fun.
In D&D, same difference.
All right. So, let me get my... All right. So this is actually a lesser Skullvyrm. It's, as I said, it's nowhere near as big. It's still pretty big and can probably swallow Dysera and definitely Squeaks in probably a single gulp.
So I'm prone, right? Because I failed my deck save at the end of last session.
Are you prone or just sitting?
No, you got knocked down. You just got knocked down to like a knee. That's all it was.
Okay.
All right, so my
I
friends,
believe
it's
I am
time.
too.
My friends, it's time to roll initiative.
Crap. 7.
Oh,
4.
23.
23.
Hey.
My dex mod's a 4.
16.
I'm
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm having a little bit of difficulty here with this.
Oh, good.
All right. Dysira?
23 with a dex mod of 4.
Okay. That's your 23 total?
23 total.
Okay.
But Bob
There's
also
a
rolled a
tie.
23. So
I've got a dex modded too.
Okay. Southus?
7.
Demetra?
4.
Danos?
16.
And Strix?
10.
Okay. Well, all right. So on 23, who's got the higher dex?
me.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly, I failed my dex save. I think I did. Yes, I did.
Okay.
So I'm down on one knee?
Yes.
So where did it come up near me?
It came up about. You were right in front. It came up about 40 feet away, as I had said at the end of last week.
Okay. And does it look like it's charging us, or like just kind of passing through? Like
It burst up through the dirt with a purpose. So it's looking right at all of you.
okay, so it looks like it's trying to charge me.
Right. It's actually not moving yet. It's just sitting there at the moment. It's like it's preparing.
It's preparing. Okay. So I want to attack it, but I want to wait to make sure that it's actually going to attack us first. Can I hold my action until then? Yeah. So
Sure.
I'm gonna.
So your action will be to attack it if it attacks first.
Yep.
Okay. With what?
And with my short bow.
Okay. All right. So you're holding on to that. Squeaks.
I have no sense of caution, so I'm not going to be that intelligent. I'm going to run at it full speed. My speed's about 30 feet, but I'm going to use hop and see if that gets me closer. All right, I got 8. So I moved a total of 38 feet. I got almost there. And I'm going to enter rage.
All right. Well, you know what to do. Let me hear that D8 roll, please.
Got a
Your web at work. Why?
Pick seats, pick seats, pick seats, pick seats.
I don't know. I got a 6. So I got the +1 to AC.
Yep. So everybody notices as Squeaks's fur crackles with a little bit of static electricity, and his eyes glow that bright white light that he gets whenever he enters his rage. You start noticing that he's got that kind of rainbow light effect going around him that he did last time. And well, unfortunately, he's too far away from you. Otherwise, it would have been helping you out as well. But yes, indeed, you do get that +1 bonus to your armor class. If anybody else enters within 10 feet of him, they will get that bonus as well. Okay. Is there anything else you're going to do?
Am I close enough to attack him?
Because you are small, no, I'm sorry.
All right, that's all I can do.
Okay. Well, it's the Skullvyrm's turn. All right, and let's see who he will go after. He seems to be lurching at Dizera.
Interesting.
Oh dear.
What, did he somehow not see the tiny bunny charging at him?
I rolled the I made a roll to see which one he would go after because both of you are within reach of his darting motion. Dizera, give me a dexterity save, please.
Did he roll an attack roll?
Yes.
Can I cutting words it?
You can certainly try.
That is my last use of bardic inspiration for the day. Okay, I'm gonna do that. When I see him go for one of the smaller members of the party, I'm gonna essentially clang my arm blade against my own armor to make a lot of noise, and also stomp my foot in the ground just in case his sense is only like 2 movement on the ground, to kind of like try and draw his attention and cutting words that way. So I'm gonna roll a d6. That's a 6, so he subtracts 6 from his attack roll.
What'd you do? Tell him to pick on someone his own size?
Yes.
Then you are very lucky because that changed it from a natural 20 to a dirty 20.
Nice move.
And you take 11 points from the bite, and it does not engulf you.
Don't I still get to make my dex save first?
Yes.
And presumably your held attack as well.
Yeah, so 25.
Okay, no problem. So you're able to dodge the bulk of that attack. It still the bone helmet like appendage attachment that it has smashes into you a bit instead of an actual bite. So you will reduce that down to 5 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And you can make your count, and you can make your attack now.
And then, so I just get a regular attack because he's not engaged with me, jerk. 21.
Oh, that hits.
10 piercing damage.
Okay. All right, it's still up, and it's got an arrow sticking. Oh, did you use the arrow, or did you use your sword?
Use my short bow.
Your short bow. Okay, yeah. No, yeah. So it's got an arrow sticking out of him now. All right. So that was 14 on 13, Danos. Is there anything else? I'm sorry. Is there anything else you wanted to do? Any bonus actions or anything?
Nope.
Okay. All right, Danos.
Alrighty then. How far is this thing from me?
About 40 feet or so.
Right. Alright, let's see how smart this thing is. And I'll put my hand on my face, and I'll pull, and a little ball of light will form in my hand. I'll throw it, and 30 feet away from me, another me pops up as I cast Invoke Duplicity.
All righty.
You getting sneaky.
I get real sneaky.
Now, is that a bonus action or an action?
That is an action. Unfortunately.
Okay. Do you have anything that you can do as a bonus action?
I don't think there's anything I want to do as a bonus action. No. Oh. Nah. Nope, I'm good.
All right.
Oh, I just read something. This would be so much cooler. Yeah, so as my bonus action, I would like to use my Furbolg ability and use Hidden Step, and I turn invisible.
I just cast myself over there and then I turn invisible.
It's just me.
It looks like you teleported.
So Agamemnon's still there.
So Agamemnon is like here floating in the air.
Yep.
Okay.
Mechanical owl. It's a very ungainly looking flight, but obviously it's working.
Yep.
All righty. That was on 13 and on 10, Strix.
Okay. How far is it away from me?
About 40 feet or so.
40 feet. All right. I will use, well, I think I know the answer to this question, but if I might still ask, just by taking a look at it, might I consider that it has a higher dex or a higher charisma?
This thing is pretty ugly.
All right.
And it seems to be fairly quick.
I will use a first level spell slot to cast. Actually, I will make sure I get within 30 feet of it, and then use a first level spell slot to cast Bane.
Okay.
It makes a charisma saving throw.
And what does it need to roll?
15.
Okay. And that Bane helped you. It missed. Actually, no, its charisma is -4. That's not that. So yeah, it's got a -4 charisma on its charisma. So it rolled a 13. So yeah, it's now under attack. It's now under the Bane.
It subtracts a d4 from all its attacks and saving throws for the next minute.
Alrighty then.
As the crystal on my chest plate grows again, and I am once again attempting to draw its attention by walking over there as loudly as I can, and also casting the verbal components of the spell as loudly as I can.
All right.
I just imagine Robot just clunk, clunk, clunk.
No, she doesn't really clunk that much. She's not really.
I usually do not clunk, but I
she's
can
made-
clunk on
she-
purpose.
She's made of mithril, so she's kind of light on her feet. Okay.
Unless you're hammering your arm blade. I mean, then it's.
Well, yeah.
That
All
is
right,
metal upon metal. That would make a lot of sound.
So that's all that you're doing then?
I have literally nothing else left.
Okay. All right. On 7, Southus.
Well, the heavy metal bard was doing the loud casting. Salthus is not. Salthus is backing up a bit, a bit more, in fact, and quietly casting by breathing words of power into his hands, rubbing them together, and then projecting a sickly-looking green beam at this thing, in which he is casting Ray of Sickness at first level.
All right. And what does that do?
Ray of Sickness will, if I hit with an attack roll, will do 2d8 poison damage and force a Constitution save.
Okay.
Does a 23 hit?
Oh, that hits.
Then let's see. It will take. Oh, good roll. 12 points of poison damage, and it needs to make a Constitution save against a 13, or else be poisoned until the end of my next turn.
Okay. Constitution save? Okay, now hold on just 1 second because I do have to subtract the D4.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what did it need to roll?
13.
It still made it with a 15.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Oh well, took the damage. So
okay, it did indeed take the damage, and it rears back and like spits out of its mouth like it has a bad taste in its mouth, even though it didn't eat anything. Okay, is there anything else that you want to do, Southus?
I do not have anything else I can do at this moment.
All right, then on 4, Demetra.
Okay. How far away is it from me?
It's still about 40 feet. It's moving like back and forth a little bit, so sometimes it's like 40 feet away. The head gets a little bit closer.
Okay. So I have a spear that I can use as a range attack, and if I use it two-handed, it has a 60-foot range.
Okay.
So I want to use my spear two-handed.
Okay, spear-handed, two-handed though is for not for ranged. It's for using it to stab.
Oh, okay. So for one hand would be
One hand would be the throwing,
ranged?
and it would be the ranged. Yeah.
Okay. That might change things. I'll still do it because I can. Let's see. I can move up to 35 feet. So I'm going to move within 20 feet of him and throw.
Okay.
Does 4 hit? Oh no, sorry, I forgot to add my plus 6. 10.
Unfortunately, no, that does not hit.
Not. All right, so Demetra runs up and grabs her spear like she's gonna throw it, but the dust everywhere is kind of getting in her mouth, and she just tries really hard and it flies right past.
Okay. All right, so back at the top, 23. Dazira go.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
reared back again, so.
Oh, well, I mean, the problem is this jerk attacked me, so yeah. Is it like within 5 feet of me, or is it?
Well, the base of the body is like 40 feet away. When the head came out and hit you, it does a quick strike and then like comes back again.
Okay. Yep. All right. So I'm going to use my short bow. Is it considered engaged by Bob?
Not just yet.
Okay.
I mean, I'm like 2 feet away from it.
Oh, that's all. How far? Oh,
2 feet.
literally 2 feet?
Yeah, he was only 2
I made
feet
it
away.
to 38 feet.
Okay, but the problem was that you're smaller, so you don't quite have the reach to it. It has a bonus
You go in
reach.
short arms.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay.
And,
I'm just trying to figure out if I
engaged.
get. Okay,
He's
sweet. So I
would
get
say
sneak
he's
attack.
engaged, so you get sneak attack on it.
Awesome. All right. So 21 hit.
21 hits. Easily.
Awesome. So 5 piercing damage. And then another 9 piercing damage from the sneak attack.
All right. And you see it's spitting out blood as you see more. You see that one arrow go right piercing into it. So it nicked something on the inside that's spitting out blood now.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. So, and next. All right. So, Squeaks, I take it you're going to be closing in with this thing now.
No, I'm gonna back down. What kind of coward do you take me for? Down it goes! Yeah, I'm gonna slash you with an axe. Yeah. Okay, I didn't do super well. It's fine.
There was something hilarious about seeing you go out of frame as you said, yeah!
Okay, it's okay. It's fine. 18.
Oh, that hits.
Ooh. I did alright on the damage. 15 slashing damage.
Okay.
I whacked it.
Yeah. No, you definitely gave it definitely took a chunk out of it with your wee axe there.
Oh wait, that's 17 damage, not 15. Sorry. I forgot to add because rage.
Ah, okay. All right. And it rears up and bellows in pain. And the sound of this thing's roar seems to fill the sky and shake the ground around you. You don't have to roll for a save, but it definitely shook things up a bit. And on its turn,
My big bunny ears.
it will try to attack. It'll try to attack Squeak since it just chopped a chunk out of him.
Sad. I had hoped that me actively drawing its attention would work.
Nah, I chopped off a scale. It ain't ignoring that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going. It's definitely going for Squeaks.
Nom bunny snacks.
But because you are so much smaller as a target, I'm actually going to give it a bit of a penalty to try to attack it, because this is a huge snaky looking thing that's trying to like
It's trying to attack a bunny that's basically under its head.
Oh, it's only a wee bunny.
Between that and the Bane, I wish it luck.
Don't forget to subtract a d4.
Yep. Well, I'm giving it disadvantage, and the disadvantage gave it a 4. So minus the D4 from the Bane.
Come on, roll it. Make it a 0.
It actually made it down to a 3. So it rears up and tries to get you, and it just like smashes its face into the ground right next to you. And it comes up wondering if it's made some poor life decisions.
Miss me, you giant snaky. I couldn't think of an insult.
Bastard.
All righty. All right, so that was 14. On 13, Danos.
All right, at the top of my turn, I reappear. And I am going to move my duplicate. Can my duplicate get to it? I cast...
Yes.
From where we were, I cast it 30 feet towards the thing.
Yep.
Okay.
Easily.
Got it. I will get right up to it, and I'll try and touch it with my duplicate and cast Inflict Wounds on it.
All right. Give me a to hit roll, then, please.
Is my duplicate flanking with anybody? Can I make it flanking?
Duplicate cannot flank.
Dang it.
I'm sorry, your duplicate flunked flank.
It doesn't matter.
No, it does not matter.
Natural 20. This is gonna hurt a lot.
Yes, that will definitely hurt a lot, because what is your inflict wounds?
It
What's the...
It is 6d10, coming out to 33 necrotic damage, I believe.
And 30 on top of that, because your spell as a critical attacking does the critical damage. That's the way we're doing it.
Oh,
So that's 60 plus 33.
It's right. So it's how many? It's 66.
Did you roll 6d10 or did you roll 3d10 plus a max of 3d10?
Well, I critted, so it turned the spell cast into 6d10, and so I just rolled that.
Yeah. D&D Beyond still goes with the default
We
roll
can't.
on critical rolls.
Yeah, we
So
can't.
it's
we
30
can't.
plus 11, because 11 was the first 3d10 that were rolled. So the maximum is 30 plus 11, right? 41.
Yep.
It's up to you. It's not that big of a difference.
How do you want to do this?
Oh,
Ooh.
there it is.
Oh! I'm gonna touch it, and like little black veins just go out from my duplicate's hands, and then the black veins just start to wrap around it as it, just squeals, and then eventually, I'm guessing, timber in some direction.
It does indeed fall down, and the skull helmet shatters.
Yes. Does it fall
Who wants a
towards us?
souvenir bone piece?
That was
Actually.
extremely impressive.
Nice work.
Yeah,
I
remind me not
Well-
to get on your bad side.
Well
have my moments.
done. All right. So you have this felled Skullvyrm before you. You're out of combat. What do you want to do?
What time is it? Like, how close are we to sunup?
Or
You mean
uh,
sundown?
Or sundown for that matter. Like what time of day is it?
Where are we?
What of the night?
Well, it's technically, as far as you would know, you would think that it should be pitch black in the middle of the night out because you were in daylight when you were on Firth.
but we've got the cloud cover that makes it difficult to tell as well.
Right. It makes it look like perpetual twilight, so you're not sure if it's night or day. But between the common sense of location, as well as Strix's inner timepieces and so on, and Agamemnon's as well, that it's roughly about, the local time would probably be about 3 in the morning or so.
Perhaps we should consider resting.
Yeah.
My resources are extremely expended at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Same.
Dragon,
Yes.
I want to pull. Southus wants to take a look at the Harvester's Handbook that's in his backpack
Okay.
and see if there's anything on Skullvyrm.
I don't know if there's a role.
Specifically, I'm thinking in terms of something that will help us survive out here. Food or something that would, drive off other Skullvyrms if they smelled it or something like that.
I don't know.
More than the, loot.
Can we eat it?
That too.
I don't know if there's a
Okay.
role involved here, but I will go ahead and preemptively cast guidance on Southus.
Yeah, we all know he's doing something super smart over there, so we're gonna help.
I could
All right.
I could make a medicine check too, but I figure the
I will
handbook's
give-
the first place to start.
Yeah. I will. Let me see exactly what the handbook does.
I may have to cast identify, particular ritual spell, but it's going to take me 10 minutes just to do that, just to identify it.
Okay. All right. As far as the handbook goes, you can use this book that grants you advantage on any appraisability check. So you can use your medicine skill for that
With advantage.
with advantage.
And you said you were guidancing as well for what, D4 or more? Okay, D4. All right.
Yep, just a default.
Let's see. Well, the better of the two rolls was a 16, which makes it 20, which if I add a D4 to that.
Okay, you do find the
21.
entry. You do find the entry, and you see that skullworms are actually safe to eat.
Okay.
There is nothing terribly valuable or vital to get from them. Although some alchemists believe that grinding up a Skullvyrm's skull helmet, so to speak, pieces of it can be used to in the fashioning of wards against lightning. Because Skullvyrms, you do have this in the handbook, Skullvyrms actually are resistant to lightning damage.
Do I think that casting it as a ritual, which means a first level spell, do I think that this thing would be subject to the Harvesting Hands spell? In other words, is it CR3 or lower? I'd have to cast it at a higher level otherwise.
It is at CR3.
Sulfus is going to put the book away, take out a couple of components, a ritual candle, some chalk that he's going to start drawing on the body. Actually, no, he'd use the ink quill to write that because he can with this. And he says, I'm going to need about 10 minutes. This will provide us more food and possibly some additional resistance if a storm begins to impact us. And he begins casting Hammond's Harvesting Hands.
Okay.
While he is doing that, may I look around, see if anything noticed the loud noises we were making?
Give me a perception check.
Yes.
I am also going to do that.
Then you can add Dice Hero's roll to it too, if you wish.
Oh, I mean, she wasn't necessarily helping. She was just looking, but I got a natural 20. So 25.
Okay, so both of you, pretty much everything seems calm right now. There are not any sounds that you pick up as like far as other critters or anything. There's no sound of like vibrations from the ground or anything noticeable like that. With that natural 20, you do notice the very far off sound of that volcano as you see another jet of like fire seemingly shoot out of the top and another huge column of reddish black smoke billowing out.
Is there any bit of shelter around, like anything that
I
could
was
make
just about to ask that.
shelter?
I was gonna say, can I do like a survival check to look to see if there's shelter or water or
yeah.
Yes, give me a survival check.
May I assist?
Can I help?
Oh.
Yes.
Nope. Go ahead. Go ahead, Lydia.
I will also help.
Okay.
All right.
So what are your modifiers?
2.
I have a
2.
+3.
So I'm at 27.
Yeah. Okay. You do come across, you notice that on the other side of one of these large jutting rocks, there's almost like an incline. So it's almost a cave, but not quite. It's almost like, in modern parlance, it's kind of like a bus stop, like a sheltering type of bus stop. But
Okay.
it's large. It is large enough that all of you would be able to fit under it.
Okay. And is there any like water or moisture or plants that we could get?
Not right here. Everything is pretty much dry to the bone.
Okay. Hey, there's at least a shelter over here. We can take shelter for a while.
Yeah, all right.
I think that's a good idea.
That would be advisable, yes.
Yeah, I'm out of rages.
I'm
You're,
out of everything.
You can see as you're having the conversation, Sulfus is holding up a black candle that's lit. It's casting a shadow across his hand that he's using to sort of puppeteer a pair of shadowy hands that begin to quickly butcher this thing. it's dropping edible flanks down onto a couple of pieces of parchment that he's got, sort of working as butcher paper on the ground next to it. And he's paying little attention to any of this. He's just kind of muttering and gesturing.
Let me get
Is anyone hurt after that encounter?
No, I'm good.
It went after someone behind me. I don't know who it hit.
It was me. Do we have? Is there a dragon? Is there anything that I can use to like start a fire?
You have it in your kits. You have basic.
Well, no, I have like tinderbox and stuff. But is there anything that like I can actually burn?
Oh yeah, there's like tons of dried grass and dried bushes and everything.
Okay,
in this
sweet.
place.
So, she's gonna find some, stuff to create a fire since Salthus is getting us some meat. We need something to cook it on. I'm not going to eat raw.
Would you like
Skullvyrm.
some healing?
Let's get settled first. Sure, but yeah, let's get settled first.
It is a bonus action. Takes me 1 second. If you are uncomfortable, you are wounded.
She stop and
Well, you don't have to stop for this. I just can cast healing word.
oh yeah. I mean, she's just running around like gathering stuff to start the fire. So
And you
hit
do see
points.
that as she's picking stuff up there. Every so often, there's a little bit of a wince because she took a shot, like basically a head as big as her smashed her in the side.
Yeah.
yeah.
I will whisper the healing word to myself, and you heal 9 hit points. I rolled max.
Awesome.
And that's my last spell slot.
After 10 minutes, there's probably more meat than we can possibly use off of this thing, since we don't have anything to cure it with, my knowledge. But there's plenty. There's also several chips from the skull helmet have been collected, since that was a component that we might make some use out of that you mentioned. Some of the shattered bits. But he
Nice.
finishes casting, blows out the black candle, and gestures. Picks it up, doesn't even seem to bother him.
Depending on how
Okay.
warm it gets during the day, if we put some of the meat either in one of my compartments or on a plate I can move out, that might be enough to cook it, thinking practically.
Could we possibly have some of the meat above the fire, like smoking, so we could make like smoked meat that lasts a little bit longer?
Potentially.
It would have to be on for probably
Yeah, it would have to
quite
be a while.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes either a lot of salt or a lot longer in smoke to actually cure it in that way.
But we can at least, get it. We should have enough to keep the fire going and at least keep stuff cooking all night. So that should get us at least meals for everybody, and then like another day's worth of food for tomorrow, right? If we can get it
Yeah.
cooked all the way through.
The alchemy jug can produce salt water. I don't know how well brining it will help. I am unfamiliar with any methods of curing, so.
Actually, that would be amazing.
That would
So we can boil off the water, then we'll have salt. And then we can pack it, take some of the
Salt.
parchment paper that you have, wrap the meat all in the, like, cover it in salt, wrap it in paper.
Oh, and if we do the fun thing with, no, that'd be stupid. Never mind.
Squeaks. I
What?
apologize. I did not consider this. Are you vegetarian?
Okay, supposed to be, but we'll keep this between us.
Fair enough.
Right. My
Practical.
kind of bunny.
Demetra, I would assume that you are in fact not at all vegetarian, and this will serve you well.
Absolutely not. In fact, you don't even have to cook my meat for me. I'll just eat it.
As you wish.
Respect.
Yes.
All
the-
it is.
It is not poisonous or dangerous to eat. raw, so that's perfectly fine.
That's how she prefers it.
I'll be honest, I don't know if a rabbit can eat meat at all.
You're not an
humanoid
ordinary
rabbit.
You're not an ordinary bunny.
I am a Feywild rabbit. I am fun.
You enjoy
Look
a
at
good
the
you
bones.
enjoy a good burger every so often and ripping the throats out of something.
I feel like I'm supposed to be vegetarian. Like, it's the thing where, like, my entire family is vegetarian or something like that. But I'm just like, shh, don't tell her.
If any of you dislike the taste of the skullworm, I can use prestidigitation to make it taste like anything else that I know of, I suppose. I do know several tastes. I don't know why, since I have never eaten anything. But it is there nonetheless.
Can you
Also, if any of you have ripped clothing, I can mend it.
Can you make mine taste like chocolate?
I can.
Fantastic.
Why would you want an entire dinner of chocolate?
Don't ask questions you don't need the answer to.
I do not intend to judge. Chocolate meat is what it is. Solstice will do most of the preservation work.
I just looked around.
He seems oddly familiar with the process, and he's having a purple moment. So
Right.
Okay.
the good
I
news
will
is that
help you with
D&D
anything
Beyond
you
has
need
made
help
this all much easier to do and keep track of.
Hey.
And breathe.
Anyways, we do all that.
Yeah. Everyone else has dinner. I will set up a perimeter as they do.
And apparently
Okay.
mine tastes like chocolate.
Yes.
I
For an
try
hour.
it. I try it. Does it in fact taste like chocolate?
Yes, it does.
Oh, wonderful.
That must be a weird sensation, though, because the texture is very much not like chocolate. So
yeah.
you have the taste, but then a texture of meat.
It's like
Chocolate
like
rain
melted
was something
chocolate.
of a meme hit. I don't know about chocolate meat though. That's gonna take off as well.
Hey, you know the funny thing is Nate hates chocolate, or rather Big B. Big B hates chocolate. Danos is all about it though.
It does taste like a very oddly specific type of chocolate. Because,
What oddly specific
Strix
type?
doesn't eat. It probably tastes like milk. You know the kind of milk chocolate that they put into like chocolate coins and stuff, like
Oh,
the
okay.
slightly off-brand. You know.
It's kind of
Like
waxy.
Yeah,
You got You got discount chocolate flavor.
Yeah.
So,
we got great
well,
value chocolate.
essentially, like if you would put chocolate flavoring into something,
Love
is
it.
how it tastes. Because that's the only idea that I would have of chocolate, having never had anything.
Love
like
it.
an
Normally a
artificial
bunny
chocolate.
brings that type of chocolate, but
As long as it doesn't taste like a chocolate bunny, we're fine.
All right. After he eats, Danos is passing out.
Okay.
We should set up a watch schedule first before you do that.
That's what I was
Uh,
about to say.
Danos sits back
I
up.
think Demetra is like a little cautious and not wanting to fall asleep right away.
I
Yeah.
can take first watch or second.
Yeah, all right.
Bunny spooked.
keep in mind that much dead animal in this area is likely to draw quite a few scavengers.
So we
That
should
is why we are resting a ways off underneath that rock.
Even so, we are likely to have a very active evening.
Love it. Love it. So, we've got, oh my goodness. Strix?
Yes?
Yes, okay. We've got Strix taking first watch. Who wants second?
I'll take second.
Yeah, all right. And Dragon, do we need a third watch?
We need 4, right?
Well, if you're going to go, you would need at least 4, because if you're going to go for an 8-hour rest, you each need to get at least 2 hours of sleep. Although Strix doesn't really need any. She has almost like a lower key mode.
Yeah, but I can't be actively like taking watch and perceiving while I'm doing that because I'm very internally focused during that time.
Yeah, all right. So we got Strix. Then we've got, oh my goodness,
Demetra.
Demetra. We've got Strix, then Demetra, then I guess I'll take third watch. And who wants fourth?
I'll take last watch.
Yeah, all right.
With 6 of us, each of us being awake for 1.5 hours would overlap and provide some relief.
We can do that as well.
That'll be more than enough to give you a full long rest and the full benefits.
So we've got Strix leading into, dang it,
Demetra.
We've got Strix leading into Demetra, leading into me, leading into Vizira, leading into Squeaks.
I'll take next.
Leading into Solthus. Everybody good with that?
Right.
Wondrous. And I look at Agamemnon. Do you sleep?
Why would I? Click.
That's a good point. Do you want to help with all of them? And me, obviously.
I can set up a perimeter watch. Click.
You all right? You feeling better, by the way?
Yes, I am. Thank you. And you see one of his metallic eyebrows raise up.
Yeah, don't read too much into it. Just off with you. Like shake my shoulder, like fly away.
So he will go up onto a tree branch, except that it really can't hold his weight because he is no small clockwork
He
owl.
can sit on top of the rock, can he not?
That's where he is going now. He tries to emulate a real owl as much as possible. So his first choice would be to go onto a branch.
There you go.
But then he catches himself and he'll fly up onto the top of the rock, and you take a look and you can see that his head is going all the way
360
around
degrees.
like an owl's would. Only,
Literally head on a swivel.
yeah. And you see that there's an intense glow coming from his eyes.
So, since we have kind of like a lean-to rock, it sounds like, I'm going to use the canvas from my tent and like cover one end. Then the other end will be open to the fire, but we don't have the fire like up under the thing because we don't want a whole bunch of
Right.
smoke up in there. But that should give everybody enough warmth for the night, still allow us to cook and give some people some darkness to rest.
Okay. All right, so you do that with no problem whatsoever. So first watch.
Mhm.
First watch is Strix.
Yes.
Give me a perception check, please.
That would be a 15.
Okay. You don't pick up on anything. Everything seems to be pretty quiet. You've just been basically figuring out things, trying to run back through the possibilities.
I will spend my time silently mending any and all clothes that got ripped during the day. I would have collected them before everyone went to sleep. People
Okay.
put on their PJs or just want to give me their ripped clothing. I just spend my time casting the mending cantrip over and over again so that everyone can have
Okay.
their whole clothes.
Give me a very quick intelligence save.
Save. Oh God. Oh, a natural 20.
No problem. All of a sudden, it's possibly because you were distracted between the healing and the mending and the situation in general that you just realized that Salthus's warning about the scent coming from the Skullvyrm body your prestidigitation could be used quite repeatedly to help alleviate the stench.
It lasts for an hour. So
Big corpse.
in a 5-foot cube at the most, I think.
Mm-hmm. But as a
So-
cantrip, you can cast it at will.
Yeah.
You could have three effects going at any one time, and I think that would be
Yeah.
3 cubes worth of scent.
Mm-hmm.
So I will, at the beginning and at the end of my watch, walk over there while communicating with Agamemnon that I will be right back in like 2 minutes, and walk over to the corpse and like mask the scent. And
Okay.
that's all I can do.
Clever.
It will help. It will help dissipate the.
Yes.
the
I will
the
also
attraction to the area.
bury it in sand
Okay.
because that will also help. I
Alrighty.
And yeah, I'll spend my long rest making the map, as I said, of our surroundings. But that requires some more focus internally.
Okay. All right. So then that's your section. And who's going second?
That would be me.
Okay. Give me a perception check, please.
Right. That would be a 3.
Okay. You're surprised how quickly the 2 hours or hour and a half, however long it is, goes by. It seems like no tomorrow. You're feeling a little melancholy that you can't look up and see the stars that you normally could. Part of the surrounding area between the steps and the rocks reminds you a little bit of kind of like a home-like atmosphere for you, like where you came from. And you find yourself looking at those clouds, the strange clouds, and you see the occasional bursts of light that keep this perpetually lit in that strange twilight. And you find some comfort in that since you can't see the stars themselves. And your watch goes by without any incident. And who's third watch?
Thanos.
I thought you said Thanos, and I was very worried.
Did someone else join our party that we should know?
He'll be there in a snap.
And gone again.
Well, half.
Yeah.
Swear to God.
You all right?
Not
I'm
stoned
watching.
enough for that joke.
All right, so give me a perception check, Danos.
All right. Perception, there you are. That is a 15.
Okay. As you look out across the wasteland that you've been walking through, and you've got a generally good feeling, even though it's been a most unusual day between going to this new dungeon and then suddenly finding yourself someplace else, the problems that Agamemnon had, the kind of surprising feelings that you were showing towards him, and you're still kind of abuzz a little bit about the fact that you had such a direct interaction with Min.
Yeah. At some point during my watch, I would like to... I'm assuming Agamemnon is just doing circles.
He's sitting up on the rock, and his head is going around.
At some point, I'll get his attention and just tell him to come over to where I'm sitting. I'm sitting kind of outside the campsite, but like still close enough to,
Okay.
and just gesture him to come over and sit next to me.
Yes.
All right. I did not expect today. I also did not expect. I'm gonna tell you something, and if you make a big deal about it, and I take off my mace and set it next to me, if you make a big deal about it, I will smash you with this mace.
How close to camp are you?
Like 30 feet away, probably.
Okay, you hear Strix's voice go, I feel like this is the right moment to say that I can still hear you.
Let's go over here, and we go 30 more feet away. Oh, man. She's so helpful, but sometimes she just really grinds my gears.
Did you not want to know that?
You do not have gears. I have gears, and
wrong.
Strix
Okay.
possibly has gears.
Okay, well, now you've ruined the moment, and now I don't want to talk to you. No, but in all seriousness, Agamemnon, I know we got off to sort of a rocky start, and I'm not entirely sure why, but I found myself worried about you.
It is appreciated. Click.
Yes. It might... I don't know, I just got to talk directly to a deity today, so it might have had something to do with that. Do you know anything about humanoid emotions?
I have been given basic understanding of such things. I need it in my dealings with people, certainly in my looking after you. Click.
Yeah. What is the emotion that you feel towards me? Do you feel emotions? But we haven't really talked about this.
I was programmed, I suppose, by the artificers to replicate emotions to click, provide a better interface. Click.
Yeah, all right.
Although, click, the taskmaster seemed to want to elevate, click, my worry, click, and my caution.
So you're worried about me?
It is part of my program to keep you on the straight and narrow. Click.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. Yeah. Well, picture, if you will, a mother and their child. I found myself feeling what a mother might for their child. I'm not entirely sure why I felt that, because to be honest, like her, or like them, and I gesture towards Strix. My brain breaks a little bit. You sometimes really grind my gears, but I just want you to know that now that I know that I'm feeling this, I will be much more conscious of your safety. I did not know that I valued it, and I do.
That is an interesting reaction.
Yeah, I'm not...
I suppose a word of gratitude. Click. But then, just remember, you have to keep on the straight and narrow. Click.
We can't even, like, take the scenic route on the straight and narrow? You know, it goes to the same place.
Vogrun was very specific. Click. Although the high chair, his orders about keeping whatever you found did override some aspect. I am not to countermand a higher authority. Click.
Well,
therefore, in that instance, you are allowed. But if there is any sign of trying to break away, then I believe the parlance is click. You and I would have a problem. Click.
Yeah, all right. So if I understand you correctly, I can cause mischief as long as I cause mischief here and not try to run away.
Affirmative. Click.
Wonderful. Yeah, all right. Well, this was a good talk, Agamemnon. I'm glad we talked about this.
Now I must get back to duty.
Yes,
Click.
yes. So must I. And I can just finish my watch.
Okay. Nothing else happens. So you have your little heart to clock talk.
Heart to
With that-
ears.
It's adorable.
All right. So and thus ends your watch. And next,
That would be me.
that would be you.
Yep. So she's gonna. Can she get up to that, to where Agamemnon was kind of hanging out to keep watch?
You actually can.
Sweet. So she's gonna do that, and just kind of sit up there and munch on some of her. She saved some of her dinner for munching later, and just kind of hang out. And I have a 12.
On your perception check?
Yep.
Okay. It goes. It starts out looking fairly normal. You don't see anything really happening. However, I need you to roll a d20, please.
Okie dokie. Where? There it is. A 4.
That die sound awful heavy to you all.
Meh. I'm just going to be like, what's happening? If it's good, cool. If it's bad, that's also cool.
Probably
right.
the surprise die.
When you climb up there and looking around, you think you see something in a small bush that seems to catch the glint of the flame from the fire.
Okay. Can I investigate said thing?
Sure, you're going to get down from the rock and go check it out?
Sure.
Okay. You get your way down to the rock, from the rock, and you're looking around, and you do see the glint again in the firelight. It looks almost like the sparkle that a piece of glass might make.
Okay. Do I need to roll an investigation check? Or...
No, you're very surprised at this, and this might be some proof as to other people that might have found their way through here, because you find what looks like a bottle of rum
Interesting. What kind of rum?
It's give me a history check. You have advantage because of your archaeology.
All right, so the first one's a 13. Second one's a 15.
This is this seems to be the date on it seems to indicate that this is like a 50-year-old bottle of rum. And there is still a stopper in it.
So it's still sealed?
It is still sealed.
Why was my first thought genie in a bottle?
Uh-oh.
All right. So I'm going to take the bottle of rum and I'm going to put it in my bag of holding.
Okay.
It could be handy later.
A rift to the astral plane opens. The room was extra dimensional space as well.
Hey, you know what? We'll do it.
The bottle of rum was actually just another bag of holding.
It was a rum of holding.
A rum of holding.
All right.
Cube, if you will.
And the rest of your watch goes pretty much by.
Sweet. So I can crawl back up to my spot and just finish my watch.
Yep.
Awesome.
And next.
Speaks.
That would be me. I have a question.
Sure.
If I have something that I can do a certain number of times before I need a long rest, if I do that during my watch, can I get it back after my watch? Or is this technically after my long rest since I'm the second to last person to go?
What is it that you're looking to do?
Magic awareness. As an action, you can open your awareness to the presence of concentrating magic. So basically, I can sense if there's any spell or magic item within 60 feet, but I can only do it 2 per long rest.
If you're going to go right back, right back to sleep, I'll let you use it.
Okay. I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Any spell or magic item within 60 feet of me that isn't behind total cover. And I can learn which school of magic it belongs to.
Okay.
But that's anything that's not in the party, because I know the party's going to light up. But
I was about to say.
What's your range again?
60 feet.
He just wakes everyone up because everyone just starts glowing.
My eyes. Yeah, no, you don't see anything that is not related to the party.
I want to know what school of magic I am.
Oh, if you know what I'm doing, you can just tell me that and I can try.
No, I don't know. I know that you're moving around and doing something, but I don't want to. Apparently, it was a social mistake to tell Dennis I could hear him because he reacted negatively. So Strix is not going to do that again.
Oh, baby. All right, that's all. That's the thing I was planning on doing.
Okay.
Seeing if there's any magic super close.
And no, as I said, there was nothing around, so the rest of your watch just goes right through, kind of slow. The only thing that you do kind of notice, and even still, that's all far away. You do pick up occasional flecks coming out of the clouds. And you figure that that's what's causing the sparking that causes the lights, causes the whole area to be lit. There's some sort of magic in that strange cloud.
All right, that's a little odd. Okay. He doesn't think about it.
Okay. And our last watch, Sothis.
Who will start with his perception roll, and no, horrible, 4.
Okay.
He's probably trying to figure out if he has what he needs to make that lightning ward
You do not.
All right.
You do notice that because you were asleep while it was happening, you do notice that the stench from the rotting carcass so close by is not smelling anywhere as strong as you would think it would.
I'm tempted to go check on that, but if I interrupt any scavengers, I am likely to cause a problem. Therefore, I'm going to have to wait to satisfy that curiosity.
I'm also awake if you want to have any conversations. Like, I can technically just talk to you right now. Would you know that? Probably. I would probably say it.
Strix,
Yes, Elvis.
have you noticed anything chewing at the Skullvyrm?
I hope not. I buried the carcass and made the smell go away.
That's the difference. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And your watch is also uneventful. So you've all had your long rest. Now this means because you've had your long rest, your bless has ended, Danos. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Push the long rest button.
We killed
Yep.
the snake.
Oh.
All right. So you, as far as you know, it's going to be early in the morning as you get up, but you can't tell because when the rest of you do wake up, you see that it looks pretty much the same as it did when you went to bed.
Okay.
This perpetual twilight of the Wrathlands.
Good. Probably means it won't get too hot while we go.
All right. So we're going to take our break. We'll be back in 15 minutes enough?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So, friends and fiends, go and take care of the stuff. By all means, make sure you get hydrated. Make sure you eat something. Get snacked upon. This time I said it on purpose. So there.
Phrasing.
It's
So
Pride
funny.
Month.
Phrasing.
So it is Pride Month, so you get snacked upon by whoever you want. Also outside
Okay.
of Pride Month, but this month especially.
All right. So, friends and fiends, we'll see you on the other side. We are back. Welcome back, friends and fiends. Hopefully, you have been refreshed and reinvigorated, as our characters have been since they finally got to have their long rest. And what an interesting first half of our episode tonight, with facing down that Skullvyrm, and then, having a nice hot meal from it as they started getting the lay of the land, so to speak. Although Diazira did make an interesting discovery. What that will turn out to be, well, we'll have to wait and see, because just to keep you up to speed, friends and fiends, she was indeed our chosen for tonight. The surprise die happened, so we have to wait and see if it's a bane or a boon, because she just chucked that bottle in the bag of holding.
Because I'm saving my rum for later.
Why is the rum gone?
It's not gone. It's just in a pocket dimension until I need it.
More opportunities to get dehydrated. Yay.
Yay.
All righty. So, the day is yours. And you notice that as you're up and about, you notice that the Skullvyrm's body has been pretty much buried back in the sand, and that's a good thing.
So Diazira would probably be one of the first ones up, making sure
Yeah, me
that
too.
the fire is still going, and kind of doing some stretches and stuff.
I don't know. I think you and Squeaks are going to have to compete for that. Although Squeaks is usually the last one out of his room because he does a rigorous grooming routine every morning.
I'll turn to Salvus. Should we wake them or should we let them sleep?
Wake them. We need to get moving.
Okay. I will shake Danos' shoulder. Good morning. Sorry to wake you. But we were thinking about getting going soon. By the way, my apologies for being able to hear you last night. It was not on purpose. You're welcome. I'll leave. Squeaks.
Danos, you hear a little chuckle.
Your god is laughing at your expense. Is someone muted? Are we muted?
Hmm?
I don't think so. I think we're fine.
Why is there somebody in chat saying they can't hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, it was me.
All
Okay,
good.
well, I unmuted a thing, so it should be working now.
All right.
Okay, there it is. Yep.
There we go. Good.
Squeaks,
So how
it's
much do
time
we
to
have
wake
to-
up.
No, it was just me.
Oh,
Alright.
Yeah, she apologized for being able to hear me, and I said thank you, I think.
And this is the most awkward I've ever felt in my life as a character.
and that's when you heard a chuckle, a far-off chuckle in your head.
Yeah. Yeah. I deserve that. And
So-
I will say my morning prayer to Min. Just silently to myself. And yeah. That's what I do.
And you hear what seems to have become fairly commonplace for you when you say your prayers in the morning to obtain your spells. You hear almost like a little chime ring from your feather.
And I'm used to this?
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Then I don't do anything about it.
nobody else hears the chime, just you.
Okay, cool.
Squeaks, it is time to wake up.
I didn't like it.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Morning.
Good morning.
Because I'm very curious, what didn't you like?
I think you might have misheard me. I said I didn't lick it.
Oh.
Oh,
And I don't remember what I didn't lick, but I didn't lick it.
Oh, right. Noted.
I'm sure.
Not substantially better, but all right.
Well,
Right.
breakfast is ready.
Yeah.
All right, let me find my comb.
Salthus tucks away a thick red leather-bound tome that's chased in sort of a darkened iron ornamentation, puts it in his backpack, and is as ready as he's going to be.
Your spellbook is beautiful.
Thank you.
Mitra does like a very long cat-like stretch and stretches out her back, and then kind of sits down and starts cleaning herself as well, during the whole like licking the hand around the head. While everyone is talking and getting ready, she's just kind of sitting there.
Danos sees two members of our party licking themselves and says, "Well, you can't beat them, join them."
Who else is
Join
licking
you, but I
themselves?
do not have a tongue.
Good night, everybody.
Yep.
By the way, Salthus, you said yesterday you might want to inspect the etchings on my person at some time. Perhaps tomorrow night we should take watch together so you can take that time while I keep an eye out.
Yes, I think that would be efficient use of time.
All right. I have nothing to prepare in the mornings because I'm a bard, so I'm just done.
Okay, so you have the day. It's by your internal figuring, Strix. It's what would be dawn.
Do we want to be particularly stealthy?
Nah, we handled one Skullvyrm just fine.
Perhaps while we're still close to the corpse, that might be good.
Right. I will cast Pass Without a Trace on all
Alright.
of us. So we all get a +10 to our stealth rolls.
Oh, grapes.
Alrighty, handy, very handy spell.
So the lighting has not changed with the night?
No, it looks identical.
Oh, shit.
Wait, so it didn't get like dark at night?
No,
Oh.
Nor did it get brighter
It's-
during the day.
it stayed that same kind of strange twilight.
I don't like that.
Yep, that's why Diazira made it a point to like create some darkness under the rock for everybody so that they could get actual sleep.
Big B doesn't like that.
Yeah.
All right.
So Diazira like is one of the first ones up. She gets up, she does a whole bunch of stretches, make sure that she's short and limber as much as a halfling can be short and limber. And then once everybody's up and moving, she grabs the tent and starts rolling it up and stuffing it away in her pack.
Okay. Yes.
By the way, I was wondering if my systems feel any different being in a completely different environment. Like, is there anything throwing me off? Is there any like weird magic or energy?
Not
that's interfering?
anymore. As I said, there was that hum that was kind of unsettling to you within that dungeon.
Mhm.
It was a little bit more pronounced than you've experienced in other dungeons.
Okay. But being here in this environment doesn't
No.
affect
The
me.
environment itself, you're not really being disturbed by whatever the clouds are doing.
Okay.
And you see that they're fairly dark clouds, but these bursts and streaks of light just keep everything constant. It's not even the odd thing is there's not even like a flickering on the ground. Like it's not like during a lightning storm where things flash and it flickers. It's not like that. The ambient light is constant. And Squeaks, do you mention to anybody what you noticed when you were staring at the clouds?
I don't think it's particularly relevant to anything, so no, not really.
Nope. Okay. All right.
Weeks
So,
is not very bright.
Let's go.
all right. So you figure out your
We're being sneaky.
you figure out your direction that you need to go in. You're comparing it as best as you can to the map that you have of the area in Firth.
We're being sneaky.
And you are being sneaky. We are not going to go individual hour by individual hour. We are not going to go individual day by individual day. So what we're going to do is we're going to say like every few days we're going to make a couple of rolls. So, and you can set up like a certain action that you might want to do for a routine. As even though it might get a little bit monotonous as you are making the journey. So give me first. Well, because again you're in the area, you're still within the area of that of the dead Skullvyrm. Give me everybody, give me a stealth roll. Unfortunately, you do have that. That plus 10. How long does pass without a trace last?
1 hour. So I got a 21 with the
31.
28.
Okay. Does anybody roll less than a 15?
No, not with
The plus 10.
without a trace.
Thank
Oh yeah,
goodness for that
with plus 10, I got a 31.
Okay. So now I take it that you're going to be doing that every so often, Danos?
Yeah, like the first time we move every day.
Okay.
I can't afford to do it any more than that.
All right.
So while we're traveling, Diazir is basically going to be keeping an eye out, like perception-wise, keeping an eye out for things that are, like threats, and then doing survival checks as she could to try to find, additional food, additional water, any sort of flora or fauna that looks edible or anything that we can, try to make into something edible. I do also have a purify food and drink that I can use once a day. So
I totally should have said this before we left. But if everyone will present their water skins, I can fill them all up. And I will cast Create Water.
We can. Don't forget, we've also got the alchemy jug.
Yeah, that can also produce, I think,
Fresh
8
water.
gallons of water a day.
You want to do that?
It can't produce anything else if I do that, because it can
Wow.
only do one thing per day.
Perhaps soup might be better.
I don't
Yeah.
think I can do soup. I can do honey.
Hmm.
I've got a certain limited number. The closest I can get to soup is honey, mayonnaise, or carrot juice.
Honey.
Carrot juice, then.
Orange juice?
Right.
Uh,
I don't know what you would
Yeah,
prefer to
nutritious
imbibe.
beverage, I suppose, yeah. That's
You would
not
have
a
to be
bad
able
idea.
to drink it for most of the day for hydration as well. So maybe
I
carrot
can
juice.
produce, or maybe we should save the alchemy jug for like emergencies. Because I
Maybe
can also
so.
produce a small amount of acid.
The conjuring clean water is not a bad idea in that case.
So then, yes, I'll create water.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we will.
Wasn't
Perhaps
entirely
we
sure
should-
what the consensus was.
Perhaps we should try to fill all our water skins with water and then hope to have enough left for tomorrow so that tomorrow we can drink carrot juice and switch it off like that.
It's too late. I've already cast it.
Switch between the methods of using spell slots and
Yeah.
the item is what I'm suggesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So next time we'll do the alchemy jug.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna do the magic awareness thing every night. Like do magic awareness to make sure there's nothing around us during my watch.
All right. All right, so another few days goes by.
Yeah, we
You're
were talking
making-
about Salthus inspecting the writing on myself
Okay.
during the long rest.
All right. So, so Salthus, give me a history check.
Not good on this one.
It's like
9.
to give the audience a bit of context, I have like etching all over me that could be just decorative, but it also looks kind of like some form of runic language. So I, as a character, have always been curious about what it means because I don't recognize it nor understand it, which is why I'm asking him because he seems to know a lot.
Given time, he would use detect magic and comprehend languages as well to try and piece together if it's a language that can decipher at all. Assuming it's not a language he knows. I mean, that's a possibility.
So I imagine you come up with that with that operation over the course of a few of the nights. Then you find that although decorative, it does not resemble any form of writing. It looks purely decorative, although you can't quite put your finger on the artistic style.
If I had more of my notes, or for that matter, access to the wealth of information that Pin provides you, I feel like I might be able to figure this out. It's not language. And what is the school? Since you would have cast detect magic at some point, what school of magic is most prevalent here?
There is a combination of various enchantments and transformations. There's various schools within her makeup between the operations that she herself can do, her own innate magical abilities, and of course the fact that she seems to be a walking, talking, living being of mithril.
A living being with none of the natural biomancy that I'd be used to seeing in a living, fleshy person, I assume.
Right. Although there seems to be wires, almost like sinew, some wiring, some cabling, reinforcing some of the underneath some of the plating.
Muscle analog. Skin, obviously. There is fluid. I can hear it. And he's not even thinking about the potential implications of what this looks like to somebody. He's got his actual ear pressed against her abdomen and listening for the sounds of, biology of any kind in there, anything recognizable. It's not even occurring to him what that might look like.
My abdomen is where I do my map sketching, so you would hear pencil on paper.
You would hear you would basically
Scribbling.
hear the scratching.
Yeah, scratching.
That is not what I expected, but fair enough. Quite a bit of transmutation and enchantment. Your own abilities are showing up when I look. I need access to the notes. I need access to the libraries, but
Perhaps I can talk to my taskmaster to see if I can get you some more clearance once we get back from this whole ordeal. I can certainly vouch for your trustworthiness.
I suspect if we get back from this, we're all going to find ourselves in very interesting positions with the company.
True.
If we make it back, I'm going back pit fighting.
While
The
he's
fact that the founder showed his face alone shows a great deal of trust, so perhaps we can get you some more clearance afterwards.
Trust in his case, and also the importance of what this might have represented. I suspect he knew more than he was letting on.
It is
Several
always to be
suspicions.
suspected with such a man.
Well, he sent
Several
along that
suspicions
owl
of the
without
chairman.
he sent along that owl without telling us what it's really doing here. So yeah, I'd say there's something going on we don't know.
There are things going on with Agamemnon that Agamemnon does not know.
I can relate to that feeling.
I do not doubt.
Hey, a feeling.
and we continue forward.
Continue forward.
All right, because this goes on. Yeah, this goes on over the course of several nights and everything. So, you have you do have to make a couple of detours here and there, mostly because of the lay of the land. Because again, this doesn't match up per se with Firth. You're pretty sure, based on Danos's communion with Min, that relative to the location of the dungeon that you came from, you should find the Ravensfjord Dungeon where you would expect to find it if you were on Firth. But you don't have the same lay of the land. You don't have the same hills, the same mountains, the same points of reference. No rivers with moving water in it whatsoever. There is occasionally brackish ponds.
Can we drink that with Purify Food and Drink?
With Purify Food and Drink, yes, you'd be able to drink the brackish water. You don't really come across any real kind of small game. You do come across though another Skullvyrm carcass.
Is it like relatively fresh?
Give me a medicine check.
I would assist with that.
Medicine or survival?
Medicine in this case.
I have a question after that.
Okay.
21.
Add 4.
25.
This has been dead for days. So it's pretty rank. And you also notice that there is this huge bite taken out of the torso.
Not multiple ones. One.
Does it look like the teeth marks of like another Skullvyrm, or does it look like another creature?
Now give me a survival check.
Oh boy.
15.
It seems to be a similar bite pattern, although you yourself haven't really seen a bite pattern of a Skullvyrm. But it seems to be the snout would seem to be in the same shape, although much bigger.
Okay. Well, I mean, in theory, I could look at the one that's there dead on the ground and the other one that we comparative to the one that we killed. So.
Well, this one is about 20 feet longer than the one that you faced.
Okay.
And then the bite mark is bigger than it?
Yes.
Oh.
The bite mark is bigger than is bigger than this critter's mouth.
That one. Yep, that's what I meant.
The worms are getting restless.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Or
It's
they're just
larger.
always cannibals.
Who knows how active they are normally?
And they yeah, you do know enough that they'll attack just about anything that they can sink their teeth into.
Love it.
Yeah, with so few little animals here, it basically seems like the skullvyrms are the only thing around. So yeah, they'd eat each other.
Yeah, it makes
Well, we
sense.
do not know what happens underneath the surface.
That's true.
True.
Demetra, what were you
Giant
saying?
moles.
What were you
I
saying?
did have a question.
Go ahead.
Oh, I don't. That conversation before is.
Oh.
That's something.
Demetra, what were you saying earlier?
I think I was mentioning that they were getting larger.
Oh, right.
It's still not as big. The bite of this thing, however big this is a big bite, but it is nowhere near from the size of a mouth like the one that you saw in the desert.
Gotcha.
Okay. What is the skin of a skullworm like? Like snake leather?
It's very scaly.
Mm-hmm.
It's very dry. It has a lot of gravel and dirt embedded in it, in between each of the scales, which kind of explains why they have that lightning resistance, because they have so much earth embedded in them.
That just sounds
Yes.
incredibly uncomfortable.
Because I was wondering if I could, using like maybe a strip of cloth that I can cut off my cloak, maybe some of the skullworm skin, maybe some of the like leather from map cases that I have left over because I'm currently really not using them. If I could make some extra water skins so I can just always have a store of water with me at all times to keep everyone.
I could
as safe as
probably
possible.
assist in harvesting some of the useful leather.
Yeah, like with the use of the mending cantrip and stuff, I could probably fuse things together. I was just, considering having some extra water storage is never a bad idea.
Laura, you get a point of inspiration.
Nice.
Okay.
I want to try something if we've got a little time.
All right. Well, let me just finish up with this over here quick. So you want to go ahead and you're going to assist in harvesting the leather. If you're doing it, Salthus, with the hands, you will be able to get a perfect cut of the scales.
If we want to take 10 minutes to do that,
Yes.
I will take several worth and as many, whatever else. Can't imagine there's a lot of useful meat left, but if the hands,
This has
if
been
there is any,
out.
the hands can find it. So
This has been out in the heat, in whatever heat there is, out in the wastelands for a couple of days rotting. So the odds are there's not going to really be anything edible.
Fair enough.
So
You can have several water skins worth of leather, though.
Because
Okay,
I have like a compartment that I could just keep that tucked away in.
well, they're fairly sizable scales. They're not like dragon scales. They're not as hard as the dragon scales, but they're kind of sizable. So you could actually make like a full water skin from like 2 scales.
Oh,
I mean, it still needs to be cured and tanned.
That's the other thing too, if anybody has those skills. But okay, so you're going to be doing that with your ritual. And Danos, what did you want to do now?
Also a ritual. I would like to cast as a ritual Identify Vitals. Target creature within range that you can see, you gain knowledge of any damage vulnerabilities they may have. And the rest doesn't matter because we're not actively fighting it, and it lasts for a minute. The only relevant part is I just learn if it's vulnerable to anything.
Okay.
Name spell.
That's also one of the spells from the handbook. By the way, let me just mention that the spells and the magic items that we have been using comes from the Hammond's Harvesting Handbook series that is available on DM's Guide, and that would be by Drifter's Game Workshop. So it's a really, really neat series of books. There are currently 3 volumes. I only have the first 2 right now. And they kind of gave me the idea. These books gave me the idea for coming up with the harvesting for another organization that we're not using here. That was actually going to be the original deal for Surprise Party Season 2, was going to be a team of harvesters. But instead I decided to go with dungeon delving. But so that would be Hammond's Harvesting Handbook by Drifter's Game Workshop. You can pick those up in the Dungeon Masters Guild. Credit where credit is due. So yes, you can. Let me just double check on that quick, because I happen to have it open.
Also, there's another paragraph down here about specifically dead creatures.
Yep. You get the effect of an appraisal check on it.
Yeah. The target is a dead creature with this spell. You also gain the benefits of a successful appraisal check on the creature. The benefit of the appraisal check is not lost after the duration of the spell. Dope.
Okay.
Thank you for going, Celine.
Okay, so all right, so go ahead and give me so you two are going to be doing that. You're going to be concentrating on your ritual. So that's going to take 10 minutes.
Yep.
During those 10 minutes, what is everybody else doing?
So, like, are we resting? Like, is this in the middle of the day? Like, are people supposed to be on watch?
Middle of the day.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Quick question, Danos. Do you have the component?
Small crystal lens set in a gold frame worth at least no. Unless you say I do, then no, I do not. May I use my holy symbol? Oh.
Salthus would loan you a small crystal lens if he once you realizes what you're trying to do.
I also have that. I have cartographer's tools, so a lens is definitely in there.
I'll just say
it's got to be a lens set in a gold frame worth at least 50 gold pieces for the purposes of this. But
I'll just say out loud: does anybody have a gold lens with a gold frame?
Salthus will he'll stop gesturing to sort of puppeteer the hands, reach into a component pouch, pull it out, hold it towards you.
Thank you. I'll give it right back, and I'll take my feather off my hat and start like waving my feather over this thing, trying to make this ritual look more legit.
All right, so was anybody else doing anything while they were doing their ritual?
So I feel like while they're doing their ritual, I know that I can't help in that. So I'm going to be looking outwards to see if there's anything coming up.
So I'm keeping an eye out, taking a breather.
Did you ever tell us, like, is it the middle of the day? Like, I know people have assumed that, but
it's this is a couple of days out, so this is about noonish.
Okay.
And you're on like the 5th day.
All right. So, I mean, Diazira would basically be doing what she normally does, looking for edible things and.
Okay, give me a nature check.
Nature or survival?
Survival.
Survival check. I'm sorry, survival check.
I was like, nature? Huh?
What?
Oh, 9.
9. You find you're digging around. You're for some reason there's like the slightest bit of greenery in this particular area. The jagged rocks have lessened in this particular part, and it's a little bit more of a plain. Very little green though. Very little greenery. There's you find what looks like the barest hint of a green branch sticking up from the ground, and you pull it up, and there's this like warty looking tuber.
Okay.
And that's about it.
Does it look edible or smell edible? Like, is there anything about it that would warn me off?
It smells very nasty.
Okay.
It smells like rotting garbage.
Yeah, but so does durian fruit, and technically you can eat that. But she just kind of tosses it.
I think we have enough food. We don't have to risk that.
Yeah, doesn't hurt to look though, but this is definitely not.
It's just not.
Mitra's looking, like in the path that we were walking. She's looking ahead. So what's to come?
Okay.
Does she specifically looking for, creatures or things that we need to look out for?
No, but you do notice that for the last 5 days, as you've been heading towards the direction of what should be the Ravensfjord Dungeon, you notice that the volcano is moving a little bit further away from you. So you're steering away from the volcano a bit.
Oh, okay.
And in other words, instead of being straight ahead of you, like more or less straight ahead of you, the volcano is actually a little bit more a little bit more eastern leading now. It's not as dead on as it was.
I think Laura had the same thought that I did. I thought the volcano was literally moving.
It's like, oh, big monster.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. So your rituals
Yep.
are concluded. First of all, Southless, you do manage to shear off 5 useful scales.
She will pass right off.
And that's pretty much all. Although you do have a fully intact helmet.
Which is enormous, and I don't know how in the hell we would possibly do anything with it.
Put it on your head.
The world's
I could
most
sit under it.
the world's most out of scale Cubone helmet.
Love it.
Some people decorate their inns with skulls. Some people build their inns with skulls. In this
Here's the interesting thing too that you do know actually about the Skullvyrms is that they burst out of their parents' bodies. They do not come out of eggs. They burst out of their parents' bodies, and then they take the skull as their protection.
Gross.
So there's a very limited number of skullworms in the world, I'm concluding. Because that is not a reproduction cycle that leads to more numbers.
Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 trade-off, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
Well, it all depends on certain occurrences.
Right. Certain occurrences. I know about those.
There are recordings of skullworms bursting out of more than just their parents, though.
Creep. Okay.
We are literally in the Alien movie. I don't like it. I like none of it.
I assume we have a little bit of salt, so I'm gonna just start curing the scales with a little bit of salt, and just keep them in an arm compartment so they do get like desert heat or like warmth, I guess, because there's not really sun. I'm just gonna focus some of my internal heating on keeping them sort of warm and like curing them, I guess. I don't know how curing goes. I'm just whatever I need to do to make this work, I will do.
Damn it, I'm a bard, not a leather worker.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Sophus's spell, and okay, Danos,
Yes.
give me all right, to appraise the creature, you need to roll an intelligence check, adding your proficiency bonus from nature.
So the spell automatically gives him the results of a successful appraise check, according to.
Okay, I apologize. That's right. I've got that right here then. Okay. Yes. So you know that it really doesn't have any sort of weaknesses. You know that let's see here.
No, it's resistant to lightning, right?
It is resistant to lightning. It actually has it has a very high strength, and well, again, this is another lesser Skullvyrm. This isn't a great Skullvyrm. It's still pretty big, though. This is a huge beast, technically.
Yeah.
You also can tell that because of the way that the helmet is over the eyes, you figure that even though it basically has blind sight for 10 feet. It can actually give a little bit more of a sense, even though the helmet kind of cuts off its peripheral vision.
Love it.
And that's pretty much it. There's very little to. There's no real weak spot that you can determine. I mean, other than the fact that there's a huge gaping hole in this thing's torso.
Yeah, I figure we're gonna.
Does it have blind sight out of 10 feet and tremor sense outside of that? Is that what it is? Because if it only has 10 feet, I'm wondering how it accurately struck at one of our own from 40 to 50 feet away.
Well, if it's out in the open, it knows. It can see.
Oh.
It's not blind. It's just that it's not like affected by darkness.
Gotcha.
Within 10 feet.
Yeah.
Copy that. Yeah, I figure we're going to be running into these things a lot, so I just wanted to check.
Oh, lightning spells. Got it.
All right.
That is definitely an important thing to know.
Thank you, Sophus.
All right, we all ready to go?
All right, so you pick up on the road again, and I take it you do your pass without a trace for the day?
Yes.
Or you did that already?
Oh, yeah.
Because this is the middle of the day.
Okay, if it's not a different day, then no.
Okay. So you head out again. Now. All right, so you head back out again, and everybody give me a stealth check.
Crap.
Ooh, 6.
I will give Solthis, I'll tap you on the back and say, we really need you to be extra sneaky. I get the feeling Min is with you. And I will give him the blessing of the trickster, which is advantage on stealth.
Knowing the result that I just saw come across the log, as you're cautioning me to be more quiet, Demetra walks past clanking.
I was just about to say, you picked the wrong person.
Oh,
because I just rolled 6.
well, that's
I
awkward.
didn't think I rolled.
17.
We're all okay because whatever might have been out there rolled a 2 on its perception.
Great.
Thank goodness, because I was being really loud.
With disadvantage.
Oh, I was kind of hoping for another fight.
Okay, so on the 6th day, you're up in bright and early. What there is one thing that you've noticed too. There doesn't seem to be any real change in the weather. There haven't been any storms. There hasn't been any rain. There's the occasional high winds.
Which direction are they coming from? Are they consistently from the same direction or?
They come from every which way.
Okay.
Drix
I
will
might turn into a
probably
kite.
take to making the camp smell just a little bit different every night with prestidigitation. And we'll probably like tell the most random stories about just things that she knows just to keep everyone on their toes because the surroundings are not changing at all, which can very quickly lead to like bad brain. So she's just making sure that camp is different every night, that we're talking about different things every day just to keep everyone like mentally a little bit preoccupied or like switching things up.
I
It
love
sounds
how-
like we're dealing with a lot of the same every day.
I love how you decided that the psychological effects of monotony should just be described as bad brain.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask something of Demetra actually. Does your character have a mane?
She does not. She is female, so technically she does not have the big flowing mane.
Well, I mean, there was a female lion in like Botswana that had a mane. If you look up gender fluid lion, you'll find it. She's really funny. But I don't know. I was gonna like.
He has kind of like almost like a hair, a little bit like of a short crop hairstyle, kind of.
Because I was gonna say not Bob. Wrong person. Squeaks might try and wrestle you down and comb your hair at some point.
The
But Josh,
hair is combing the hair.
I swear to God. Why didn't I do that?
Womp, womp,
Yes.
womp.
Boo.
Why didn't I think of that?
All righty. All right, so the 6th day, you come across another rock, a little bit more of a rocky area. You've also veered a little bit more to the right this time around.
Demetra like turns because she's noticing that the change in the position of the volcano. She just wants to make sure everyone is aware of that. Okay. Hey guys, have you noticed that when we first started, volcano was straight ahead. Now it's off to the side a little bit. Do you feel like we're going in the right direction?
Question: is
Do
this a different day?
Yes.
This is this is a different day now. It's the 6th day now. So other than the you casting your ritual spell the last time, it's a different day.
So
Wonderful.
the beginning of the session was end of day 1, beginning of day 2. The second corpse was day 5, and now we're on day 6.
I would like to cast another ritual spell at the beginning of this day. I would like.
Okay. If you can just hold that thought for 1 second. Okay. Lydia, what else were you saying?
I turned to the others in the party and let them know about the volcano.
Yeah.
Position.
I assume that's purposeful. I assume this is just the direction we have to walk
It's
in.
really it's pretty much dictated by the direction that you're going in, just because you're being forced by the lay of the land to not be able to go in a straight to the Ravensfjord Dungeon that you would normally go to if you were on Firth. But
Correct.
being here, you're going in the general direction of the dungeon. So, but the thing is, it doesn't line up directly with the continent.
Okay.
The Wrathlands doesn't line up directly. So there's going to be different obstacles that you're going to have to circumvent.
Yeah,
It's like
I just
not-
don't want to get too off track where we're circumventing one obstacle and then forget that we need to come
Strix
back.
is able to, by her maps that she has within her
Okay.
her mind and the physical maps, she's able to tell when you're on course. Plus Dysera has an idea of that as well with her mapping.
So we don't necessarily need to be heading straight towards the volcano, I think is the question as well.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Okay.
it just happens to be veering off a little bit because you're changing your facing to get to where you want to go to, but you have to make certain changes. You can't just keep going straight the whole time
Sure.
in this terrain.
Yeah.
Okay?
Sure.
All right, so Danos, your ritual.
Well, first to the party. So, I have this ability. I can ask Min one question every day. It's more of a yes or no type of thing. Is there anything pressing that we need an answer to? Well, don't everybody speak at once.
I can think of nothing immediately pressing. That would just require one question.
Yeah, all right. Well, just know that I have that in my feather.
If nothing else, we might ask if we are still going in the correct intended path.
Yes.
Might be better to just point in the direction that we think the dungeon still is and say, is the dungeon that way? That way, as we get closer and closer, if his answer changes, we know we need to adjust course.
Yeah, all right. Strix, which way do we think that the dungeon is in?
I'll point.
Okay, and I will point in the same direction. Or actually, just freeze right there for 1 minute. And I will take my feather off of my hat. I will stick it in the ground. I will draw a circle around it. I will write some runes around it.
Are those just like copies at like Selphus?
They're not
Of the
really
Selphus
runes. Out of game, they're not real runes.
You're just intimidated by how cool Solvus looks when he's magic casting.
I'm trying to do cool magic things, alright?
That is adorable.
Salvus is boggled by this.
He's probably looking at
trying
it
to
like,
figure it out. He's like,
what is that? That one looks like a dick. What is that?
I hear that's very magical though, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
And
At a certain point, he does just give up on it.
And I will
divine magic.
Yeah, and I will ritually cast augury.
Okay.
So you can do that as many times a day as you want, right? Ritual casting.
Yeah, but if you try it like more than once a day, then it gets weird.
Augury gets bad when you try and stack it like that.
Augury bad.
Bad brain, augury bad, everything
Technically,
bad.
yes, I can.
All right, let's see here.
Is Strix still like standing in place pointing?
No, why would I do that?
Oh. Crap.
Okay.
He can remember, I think.
Wow.
All right. Now the way. Okay.
Did I
All
say
right.
something?
So in now. All right. It just to make sure that this is augury you're casting, yes?
Yeah. Wheel for good results, woe for bad results.
Wheel and woe for both.
Wheel and woe for both.
Oh, he's only ever gonna give you wheel and woe.
But that's not just woe.
True.
Whoa. Okay. So
Whoa.
give me all right, so let's see what your let's see. So all right, so you're doing your ritual. And what specific course of action are you taking?
So the course of action that I'm going to ask about, if... Oh, I'm a big brain this. If we continue following Strix's directions,
Oof.
will it bring us to our intended destination before our destination disappears? And I wait for the feather to do something.
And you see the feather lift out of the ground. And it starts writing in the dirt.
All right.
Reply hazy, ask again later. Underneath it, JK.
Min, you cheeky bugger.
Seems sarcastic for some reason.
It's and you hear a voice say, "We'll see.
That was incredibly...
We'll see."
Oh! Yeah, I'm assuming nobody hears anything.
No.
Out of nowhere, I'm just like, oh! Right.
What is it, boy?
Timmy's in the well.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, man. That was both hilarious and quite helpful.
Does your god trust me?
Is my quill still in the air?
No, it actually returns to your hat.
Oh, wonderful.
How polite.
Yeah, we're good.
For at least the next 30 minutes.
For at least the next 30 minutes.
Here we go then.
Not taking into account circumstances that might change the outcome.
Oh, an action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes.
Not taking into account circumstances that might change the outcome, like other spells or danger.
Who thinks about that stuff? Anyways, we continue on.
All right.
None of us ever.
Happily onward.
All right, so you are...
By the way, if it's so monotonous, can I sketch members of the party just to keep myself busy?
Sure.
You can't even tell you're doing it. You're doing it in your abdomen, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah, but like, you know, perhaps I'll show you one day.
We just hear it like in her stomach, like, you know, if you're hungry and your tummy rumbles, except she's just sketching.
Out it comes like a dot matrix printer.
Look, if they're good enough, I might show you.
When it sounds like dot matrix printing, that's when she's experimenting with pointillism.
I am not asking for permission to draw them on the strange. I'm asking the DM if I technically can do that.
So
I'd say consent, please, but there is no crabgrass here to even check with.
No. I will do it like
well,
the
thank
best.
you very much for your consent.
Obviously, my style of art would be as realistic and as nice as possible. So I'm trying to do it well.
Okay. All right, so you're coming along into a little bit of a clearing. There's still some of these rocks, although there's a couple of strange looking rocks here every so often. You see what looks like these, well, it almost looks like they're altars. It's these large kind of, very large kind of rocks. They're like almost like rounded, that they kind of look like an altar stone. And then you see like what looks like these crystalline, these like gray crystalline formations like sticking up like obelisks almost up at on each side of it. And there's like there's like okay, in this area here there's about 3 of them.
3. Are they set up in like a triangle or just randomly?
Is this considered a ruin?
No, it's not a ruin. Everybody give me a perception check.
I was trying to figure out if I could use historical knowledge. This is when you enter a ruin or dungeon, you can correctly ascertain its original purpose and determine its builders. In addition, you can determine the monetary value of art objects more than a century old.
I got a nat 1.
This does not. These whatever these are, these look natural formations. These do not look like a sculpted or manufactured piece.
19.
15.
3.
11.
Okay, but then we also have that natural 1. And so, Squeaks, you hop up on top of one of these to see if you can get a better look at them. And you notice that underneath you, it starts moving.
Right of that.
And the rest of you pick up on it right away, Strix.
Mm-hmm.
As you see those crystal columns start to move out, and the large rock picks up.
Oh, no.
And then the other 2 pick up, and you see the column, and you see what are 3 giant earth crabs. And Squeaks is standing on top of one's head.
Squeaks, you might consider raging at this point.
Are we in initiative?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, that's a 17.
Well, I mean, Squeaks is right where he wants to be, right? In the face of a creature, so it's not
Yeah,
a problem.
no kidding. I am gonna have the time of my life riding this thing.
So what did you call them?
These are giant earth crabs.
Earth crabs.
She might want to see a doctor about
6
that.
for my roll.
I got a 19.
What's your dex, Dimitra? What's your plus to initiative? Okay, so
2.
I go technically first. Okay, I also got a 6, but mine is +4.
Okay, so let me run through these quick. Hold on a sec here. Okay, Dizira,
9.
Salthus,
17.
Demetra,
6, but with a +2 dex.
okay. Danos,
22.
Squeaks,
19.
and Strix.
6 with a +4 dex.
Okay. All right. On 22.
Could I say that me telling Squeaks to rage was a bardic inspiration? Just because I noticed on time. You can say no.
I will give you that.
Yay. 1d6. Look, I can always ask. The worst answer I can get is no.
Right, so me
Don't blame me for trying.
Me first?
Yep.
Right. For my action, I would like to cast Bless. I would like to bless, it's 3 creatures, right? Yep, 3 creatures. I would like to bless Squeaks. I would like to bless Dimitra. And I would like to bless Strix. Yes.
All right, so that means that each of you will have the benefit of a D4
Blessed.
for your saving throws and attack rolls.
Ooh, nice.
And as a bonus action, I would like to do nothing with it. Am I on a crab?
No, you are not.
Am I near a crab?
You're within 10 feet.
Ooh, I don't like that. With my bonus action, I would like to turn invisible. With hidden step. My furbolg thing.
All right.
And with my movement, can I move away from the crab?
Yes.
How close
Fantastic.
are the crabs to each other?
They're about 20 feet apart. 20 to 30 feet apart.
I would like to move 30 feet away from the crabs.
All right. And is that your action? Is that your turn?
That is my full turn.
All right. Also on 22. The first crab let's
Is this the one
see.
I'm currently riding?
Let me see. No, it is not. Not this one. This one will go. Let me see. It's perception. It does not sense you. Going away from it. So it will attack. It will start moving towards Strix.
Well, I was kind of hoping it attacked me and hit its buddy.
That would be
All right,
real
so
funny.
let me see.
I always want things to attack me because I have the highest AC, so that's why I'm always trying to tank, but nothing has
Okay.
fit so far.
Does a 17 hit?
No.
Dang bard.
Okay.
I am a living being of mithril. It does have some perks.
We have a tank bard. We have a cleric who's potentially a thief. We
We are
Surprise party.
rolls here.
It's surprise party. We're on brand. Okay.
I did not want to be the typical horny bard, so I just went full throttle the other direction.
Robot.
She's a light heavy metal bard.
Hey, Ace Pride.
Hello.
He's pride.
All right. All right. So that one missed. The one that is on you that you are on at the moment, Squeaks.
I just hope it's
Okay,
not me.
reverse it.
Push me.
I'm actually going to give this attack at a disadvantage again because you are standing on the middle of this thing and you are small.
I'm such a hard target to hit.
You are also extremely lucky because with the disadvantage I rolled a 2.
Yeah.
Thunbarian.
Thundarian. I feel like I'm more bard-like than our bard.
And the third one will attack. This one is also coming after Strix, so the two of them together are ganging up
Come at
on
me.
you.
Give me the excuse to cast Shatter on you. Why don't you?
Does an 18 hit?
No.
Holy crap.
I'm suspecting earth things might be vulnerable to thunder damage, so I'm looking forward to my turn.
All right, so it misses, and all right,
Did you roll
so
a 19?
on 19, Squeaks.
Rage we go.
All right, give me that D8.
Yeah.
Fresh fingers for pixies.
Squeaks is just a scald in disguise.
I don't know how this works. I rolled a 7. I'm not on the ground.
Okay. Because this outcome is flowers and vines temporarily grow around you until your rage ends. The ground within 15 feet of you is difficult terrain for your enemies.
I am on top of the enemy. How is this working?
Well, but it's still, the
Under
ground
it.
is beneath you under the enemy. So, like, it's
Actually-
not immediately underfoot.
But this is wild magic that we're
Earth
talking
crabs.
about.
Earth
And you're
crabs.
also in the Wrathlands.
Oh, frick.
And from this roll that I made, you've actually entangled this thing.
Nice.
And now let me see here. Let's see how if it makes a strength roll.
Oh no.
No. It did not make a strength roll. So it is currently restrained.
And I'm about to bring my axe down on it.
Advantage.
That's right, because you haven't
Advantage.
had your attack yet. This is just from your wild magic surge.
This is literally just from me going into a rage. Alright, do I have an advantage because it's entangled?
Yes, you do.
Restrained.
Mhm.
It's restrained. Actually, it's an automatic hit. It's an automatic crit
If you hit, yeah.
if you
What?
hit.
Plus a D4
Well-
because you're blessed.
I rolled. Oh, I didn't add the D4, but I already rolled the 12 and I have a +7.
Yeah.
So 19,
you-
I think that'll hit.
Yeah, so you automatically crit since it's restrained. Oh, the thing is,
This is
shot my mind.
1d12.
Your base is all right. Well, you do 12 plus roll a d12.
8.
So
Plus,
that's
I
20.
do 7 extra damage.
27.
So 27 slashing damage. Right on top of this thing.
All right. This thing is you actually like manage to blast in your rage as it's restrained. You bring down your axe point blank on this critter's head, even though it's more or less made of stone. And you send cracks throughout its whole body. You're pretty sure that if it wasn't for the vines that are tangling it together, it might not have. Parts of them might have not fall. Parts of them might have fallen off. But it is still alive. Actually, you know what I'm going to. No, it falls apart. You did 27 out of 30 hit points in one shot. So I made an old-fashioned call, a Constitution save on such
Oh,
a
cool.
lethal blow, and it failed. So you took out a rock crab all on your own, little bunny.
Call me Squeaks the Executioner.
That is 19. Is there anything else you want to do, Squeaks?
No, well, I mean, I can try and hop onto another crab.
I start sketching this image of Squeak standing on top of a land crab that is entangled, holding it together, and I write Squeaks the Executioner.
You also
Still got your
notice
move, yeah.
everybody else notices that this time Squeaks' eyes seem to be glowing a bright green.
Angie.
Angie.
So I'm gonna try and hop onto another crab. I don't know.
You wouldn't be able to do that. That would be another full action that you're trying to climb onto one of these things. Because these things are mobile now.
Okay, fair.
So you can make that as part of your attack next turn.
But you can move to engage them
Oh, yeah.
now. I mean,
All right. On 17, Sothis.
seeing the crystalline structure, thinking earth, I am also thinking that they are probably thunder vulnerable. So hand into the component pouch, out comes the diamond. Again, with the scintillating light coming off of it that just goes invisible and starts being kind of a waver in the air. He fires chromatic orb at one of the two that is engaged with Strix. First level.
Okay.
And I roll in probably not an 11.
No.
Yeah. Unless I had advantage or anything, yeah, that's my roll. So I guess.
Yeah. Nope. That's it. I was just double checking on something else from my end, but no, this would not be take effect in this part.
Yeah.
All right. So that was 17. Anything else you can do?
He can, if he's too near them, he's moving back a bit, but that'd be all.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be able to move away a bit from without drawing an opportunity attack. Obviously, you're not that close.
Yeah.
Okay, Daizira.
All right, so where am I in relation to the remaining 2 crabs?
You're about within like 15 feet, 20 feet or so. They're both engaged with Strix right now.
Okay.
You're usually up front with me, so you'd probably be close enough to smack them if you wanted to.
I mean, as long as I'm within 80 feet, I can hit them. I was just more wondering if they were engaged with anybody else. All right, so she pulls out her short bow and aims at the crab on the right.
Okay.
It's a 13 hit.
It does not.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. On 6, Demetra.
Me first, right?
Oh, wait. What is your dexterity?
4. Plus
Yeah,
4.
she's got a
Okay,
higher
so
dex.
then, yes, so Strix. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I follow Zelthus' line of thinking, and I see he's trying to do thunder damage, and I think I might do the same. Given that they are both hitting me, I assume that I can get them both within the same 10-foot sphere.
Yes.
Okay, I will aim it at their booties so I don't get myself as well. Sorry, I had to.
Thunder in the booty.
Heck yeah. And I will tap the crystal, but instead of just lightly
Go
tapping
tap that.
instead of just lightly tapping it, I'm going to quite vehemently slap like the palm of my hand into it twice, but instead of hearing it reverberate on my body, you just hear those 2 like pounds behind them coming out of that. Don't laugh. You'll make me laugh
I
too.
must.
God damn it, Trap. Your face. I just happened to look at his face and it was just like pound. I will make those.
I'm trying to stay very serious and focused as a dungeon master here.
I will
Serious,
make-
important stuff, Emmy.
I will make those 2 thumps very loudly come from behind them and cast Shatter, which is
Okay.
a Constitution saving throw of 15.
So you tap
Okay.
it, slap it, and they bop it. Okay.
I hope so.
Crab number 1. Oh, you were so lucky because that almost was an 18 and then it rolled over onto a 4. Crab number 2. A natural 1 on the save.
Wonderful. Seems my pounding was just distracting enough. I had to. Come on.
Yep.
I'm not a bard that makes a lot of jokes, but sometimes I get to, you know? I get to say things that I know will be taken out of context, and that's how I get to. Ooh. Jeez. I rolled a 6, a 7, and an 8 on the 3d8. So that is 14 plus 7, 21 thunder damage. To each of
Okay.
them.
To each of them.
Yes.
Okay.
If they both fail.
They do indeed both fail. You see that your energy goes out, the vibrations. You see, the first thing you see are the crystalline claws starting to vibrate. And then the rest of the rock starts to vibrate. and you see cracks forming in both the claws and the carapace as well. So there's still, it didn't do quite as much out of a percentage as Squeaks's did, but you still did him good job of damage on them.
And I will say, if you can understand me, now would be around the time to give up if you want to live. Because they're both in my face.
Woo!
Sassy servitor.
It's
Okay.
well, logically, it's the truth. So it's not. I'm not smack talking. I just think I'm telling the truth and giving them a way out. I'm not even aware of the fact that it sounds threatening.
Okay.
You're goddamn precious.
All right. So is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Demetra.
All right. Question. Since I have 2 battle axes that I can use as one-handed weapons, can I swing with one and then as a bonus action swing with another?
Yes, you can, but you don't get your attack bonus on the second attack because you do not have dual weapon fighting. Correct?
Gotcha. No, I do not.
So fortunately, though, the bless would still count on that, though.
Okay.
So you would still get the 1 to 4 added
So
to.
I'm going to.
The first one you get your full. The first one you get your full attack.
Okay. So I'm going to swing. I'm going to place myself in between 2 of them, and I'm going to swing 1. So they're fairly close together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are they within 5 feet of each other?
You can stand in between them because they're pretty much like up close because they were both attacking Strix.
Okay. So I'm going to stand in between and then swing at one with one of my battle axes and then swing to the other crab with my other battle axe.
All right, let's do the first attack first. So roll that one you get to add your normal modifiers to.
Okay.
And a D4.
And the D4.
To hit.
Was that a natural 20?
That was a natural 20. It's like I don't think I need them.
Well, you do.
Nothing but crit.
First let's see this one first. What is the base damage of your battle axe? One-handed?
One-handed is a 2d8 plus 4.
Well, you do right off the bat 16 points. And you smash this thing.
Was it 2d8? Jesus Christ.
Demetra smash.
Is that on a crit 2d8 or like just normally?
I think that's on the crit.
That's on
because
the
it's
crit.
highlighted.
Oh, then then all right. So it's 1d8. Okay,
It's usually
even
1d8,
still-
yeah.
Even still,
Yeah.
that's a d8 plus a roll. Just do one of the basic rolls, like using the one down in the corner. Of
Okay,
the
so
D8.
do a 1d8 plus 4.
No, it's not. You don't get it for damage. This is the damage. I want to get the damage total right because you do
Okay.
8 points plus. Well, what's your strength?
mod? 4, right?
Yeah. 4.
That you do 12. So just for that, you don't even need to roll the rest of it. You smash this thing the rest of the way. Your blow is so powerful that it just shatters and splits in half. You finish the job that Strix started on this one, and that's the first one.
Yeah.
The second one, go ahead. You use just roll a regular D20, and then a D4 on top of that, because you can't add your modifiers to the second attack.
So 1d20 and 1d4.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so that's a 9 plus a 1. 10.
And that one does not hit, unfortunately.
Oh. I used all of my strength on the first one.
Yeah, no, that was something pretty good. Okay. We are going to be wrapping this up very shortly, but you guys are going to be able to get through this combat with no problem. Danos!
You all right? How far away am I from this crab?
Well, you backed up another, 10 feet away?
I backed 30 feet away from the crab that was nearest me, so wherever that...
So they're about...
Moved.
Yeah, so they're about 20 feet, 25 feet away from you.
Dope.
This thing is really hurt, though, that you can tell, the one that's facing off between Demetra and Strix.
Yeah. I'm going to tell Agamemnon, you might want to get off my shoulder for this.
Do you reappear, or are you still invisible?
I appear at the top of my turn, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I reappear.
All right, he'll hop off.
And I will run up to the crab and hit it with my mace.
Okay.
Could I get to a place where I could flank with Strix? Or with Demetra?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Let's swing this thing for the first time ever. Hello? There we are. Right. Second time. Much better. I still don't think it hits, though.
No, unfortunately, it does not.
Well, this is awkward.
Keep running up and just dunk.
Seeing that didn't work, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay, but the thing is, the way Spiritual Weapon works when you first summon it is you need an action to summon it, and then the bonus action is to attack.
No, casting it is a bonus action, but you only get to attack with it the next turn. That's the thing.
Oh, that's what it was, right.
Yeah, when you cast
some DMs allow you to attack immediately, but officially you have to wait a turn.
Awkward. I'm not going to do that then.
You might want to not do that because we'll probably finish it.
Right.
I think.
Right.
You'll probably finish it.
Do I have any other bonus actions?
You're before me, so.
Nope. Right, I'm just going to stand there awkwardly then.
All right. And also on 22, this last crab will go. And let's see, he's got 4 of you right there to choose from now.
Come at me.
What you got?
He's going after Strix.
Yay.
And I know that an 11 does not hit you.
No.
So this thing is so barely holding together. It smashes this one crystalline claw down, and it's already so cracked up the claw actually breaks.
Breaks his claw.
In my headcanon, my high AC is not just because I'm made of mithril, it's also just because I kind of analyze how the creatures are moving and just barely step out of the way before they hit, which sometimes obviously goes wrong when they hit. But I don't think they're impacting the whole time because I don't think my body could handle that. I think that would also break me if I let creatures hit me all the time.
Okay. So anything else? And no, that was the crab going. Okay, so 19 squeaks.
I got it. I'm gonna run over and hit it with my axe.
Finish him.
You have bardic inspiration.
Oh yeah. I roll an extra
And
d4,
bless.
right?
You roll an extra d4, and if you want after that, you can still roll a d6.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because I roll pretty bad.
You've got options. Please kill it before it kills me.
Don't worry, Denos. We got this.
16.
Just misses. You leap up and you go to smash it, but unfortunately you smash at the part that just cracked right off.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Donk. Is the last part of the fight is just going to be all of us missing.
Yeah, for it to have another turn, things have to go very badly for
On
us.
17.
We got a little too cocky with the first one.
Nah, it's fine. We'll be fine.
All right, so anything else that you want to try, Squeaks?
Nah, that's all I got.
All right. So on 17, Sothis.
Does a 22 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right. Salthus will gesture, reaching out and whispering language that just sounds very dry and dark, and a spectral claw appears and rakes at this thing for 3. Not much, but it does happen.
Necrotic damage.
Yep.
Okay. Is there anything else that it does?
It does if that thing tries to regenerate, but otherwise it cannot regain any hit points until the end of my next turn.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. On 9, Dizera.
Dizera, save me.
After
You've
my
been
first
hitting
shot, I don't
me,
know
and
that I'm
you're just
saving
like next
anybody.
to it. Don't hit me.
You're fine, you coward.
So she's gonna pull out her short bow and try again. I mean, she's got her short bow out. She's gonna try again.
Okay.
Oh, 25 hits though.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
All right. So obviously that crab is so totally engaged. So we're gonna get sneak attack too. So that's 9 piercing damage plus an additional 6 piercing damage. So
I think
15
you had to
damage
do
total.
6.
Yeah. So you take aim at this, and it's so wrapped up and beyond hurt, it's not paying any attention whatsoever. So, like, one eye stalk turns around and looks at you just as your arrow goes right into it. And that's all it takes, as it just collapses under its own weight. And you have vanquished these giant earth crabs.
Bullseye.
And
No, crab's eye.
God's eye.
so you did very well. And that's where we are going to end tonight. We'll pick up next week right after the battle, but it is late for one of us, very late. So we're going to wrap this up for the evening here. I do apologize for running over a little bit of time, but I figured we could get this finished up tonight. So, friends and fiends, I do hope that you enjoyed your time with us tonight. Hope we will see you back here next week. But before we go, let us go around our table so you can please pay your kindest attentions to our players and find out what they're up to and where you can find them. And we will be starting with Celine.
Hello. You can find me on Twitter at Celine. You can find me here on Twitch at Celine. Now that I have had my second shot, and I'm not sleeping in my bed all Memorial Day weekend, I'll be back to streaming this Friday on my own channel. I got distracted by Laura in the chat. Sorry about that. But yeah, you can find me or around the Twitterverse and Twitchverse, and obviously here on Wednesdays.
All right. Thank you. And next, my good friend Trav.
On Twitter, at TWFarland. The only other place you're going to find me right now is here on Wednesdays, and also, oddly enough, on the episodes of Shadows Over Charlotte, releasing also on Wednesdays on the Dice Fiends podcast.
All right. Thank you. And Lydia.
Hello. You can find me on Twitter at Lydia_gas, and here every Wednesday night.
All righty. And Bigby.
Oh, hello. You can find me in a multitude of places. You can find me on Twitter at Bigby's Hand. You can find me on Twitch at Bigby's_hand. Soon. You'll also find me here every Wednesday and on this channel every other Sunday on Utharian Legends. You will also likely see me in some future Rock Punch videos. If you're not familiar with Rock Punch, what are you doing with your life? And
Wait, aren't you the famous Nick?
yes.
Hey, Nick.
What?
Big fan.
What? Oh, thanks. When I saw that script, I was like, it's funny because my brother is actually named Nick. But anyways, yeah, you can find me in those places.
Is that the brother that owes me a story?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You're out there, Soul Chain.
Uh-oh.
I'm looking at you.
Damn.
Anyways, that's me.
He did. All righty. And Bob.
I will go invisible until next Wednesday. See you then.
Oh.
You have the Furbolg ability.
Yep. Hidden step.
You borrowed it.
Yep.
Came with the wild magic surge.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me again. Now, Dizera has immunity next week because you were the chosen. So you will have immunity from the surprise next week, and I wonder when you're going to find out what's in that strange bottle of rum. In any event, Lorai.
Yes, I'm Lorai. I have not streamed because my brain has been in a bad spot, but I'm going to get back to it tomorrow and maybe hopefully finish Dragon Age. And on Saturday, we're back with our Cobalt Keep Mysteries D&D campaign with the very own Starbuck guesting. If you don't know her, she makes wonderful dice at arcaneflora.com. And yes, I'm going to spend my time telling you about her because she just had her restock, her sale, and it went so well. And she's amazing. And she made this die, and it's beautiful. And it's named Chaotic Lawful. And that's it. Come watch D&D.
Alrighty, and I have been your humble dungeon master and happy dungeon master, because how could you not be a happy dungeon master with this crew? And you can find me on the Twitterverse at Draconic Verses, and of course also at D&D Surprise Party minus the U. And I know I keep saying you can find me eventually on Twitch here using Ye Olde Dragon. I'm still trying to figure some stuff out, making sure people's schedules are okay for certain little projects. Also keep an eye out on those accounts too, because you never know when another certain group might start adventuring again. So just tossing that out there into the universe.
Like fire, fell fire.
Thank you. Very nice. And of course, as legally as I can, please go hit !Forsooth in the chat so you can see my link to my TeePublic shop, where you can find a whole bunch of new designs, including a batch of new Pride designs. Oh, Forsooth. That's right, because for those of you that don't know, here at Chaotic Tiefling, anytime someone who says that word, we drink. And there's a lot of drinking during Shakespeare performances, although last time there was not one single, forsooth, to be found, which made it kind of awkward. But at any event, friends and fiends, thank you very much for coming by. And remember, stay safe, stay healthy. If you have to go outside, please wear that mask. I know with the vaccines, more and more people are saying you don't need to wear them. Better safe than sorry. Take care of yourself and take care of each other.
And happy Pride.
And happy Pride. And we'll see you next Wednesday. Good night, everybody.
We're out. We're raiding.
Alrighty then. All right. Well, there was a bit of extra. I was a little worried to start, but then as soon as you took that first crab out with that one shot, I said,
Yeah, we'll be able to finish.
We are